Hello, everybody. This is Christina Fasonic, broadcasting live as I have been all day from Ogilvy Park in beautiful Wheeling, West Virginia. This is the last session of the day. Normally, my partner, Damian Dressick, would be in here with me, my WCONA Live co-host. But you all beat him to the punch, and he's locked out because we have so many wonderful people who want to read for us. So I sent you all some directions a little while ago. Letting you know that because there's so many, you're limited to just a couple of minutes. And all I'm going to do is pop you up on the screen. You don't have time for a bio, but definitely read us some of your favorite work, and it'll be totally fine. So, all right. I'm not going to introduce anybody either, but you can tell us your name and then read to us whatever you bring to the table this wonderful day of WCONA. And thanks to everybody who's attended our workshops today. And we've heard tons and tons of good things. And keep the comments coming because that'll help us build our conference for next year. So I'm going to disappear off this screen and then let's roll.
Hi, I'm Megan Schreiber-Carter. I'm going to read to you from the Great Aunt Alice collection, which presents tall tales and telling truths told in rural L County, PA from the 1870s to the 1970s. In this scene, the now 14-year-old narrator walks past the grand ruins of the downtown of an historic borough. And here are some shots of the borough for you to see. As she walks past them, as she recalls some tales tied to her formidable late great-grandmother, Lulu Muldoon, who passed well before the narrator was born. I remembered a time now on my way home from Mass one Sunday when a neighbor lady offered me a cracker with some pimento cream cheese spread on it. I ate it, thanked her, and said I liked it, though I didn't. I knew it didn't really matter if I liked it. I knew she loved to give girls recipes, often saying, "You have to be a good cook because you never know what your husband's going to like." As usual, on this day, she'd said the same as she pulled from her apron pocket a folded photocopy. I unfolded a boldly hand-printed recipe. What this lady had called Lulu paste was titled Lulu's Paste. I didn't think the lady knew it, and I didn't say anything, but this appeared to be my late great-grandmother's recipe written down in her own stern script. I'd heard Mom often say the secret to much of my great-grandmother's good cooking was lots of butter. According to this recipe, lots of cream was involved too. Family members said that great-grandmother Lulu Muldoon was prone to spells with migraines and constipation. Also, apparently, she was so interested in watching Grandpa Legrand's cocktail hours with his wife through the large windows facing between our houses that Grandpa Legrand removed his window and installed glass bricks there. And here's the picture of the glass bricks. Let's see if I can get this straight. Yeah, it's backwards. There they are between the windows. If you can see them, it's all sort of backwards, but there's the other one. Okay, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. And I look forward to the next reader.
Hi, I'm Nicole Ravis. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm going to read from an excerpt of a manuscript I'm tentatively calling Vincent, which is part of my work for Carlo's MFA program. And it's about an artist you probably have all heard of and a famous night in his life when he cut off part of his ear. And this is when his friend, the artist Paul Gauguin, finds him in the bathroom. Reluctantly, Paul leaned in closer. In Vincent's left hand was a bloody razor. A red smudge on the floor next to him seemed to dance in the quivering light. Paul rubbed his eyes. Nothing had prepared him for someone like Vincent. The unpredictability, the hot temper, the need. He didn't know anything. "My head is heavy," Vincent said, and then Paul saw the indentation in his earlobe, half the ear severed. Paul's mind raced. Good God, he thought, what am I supposed to do? He grabbed a towel from the holder and rinsed it with water. Holding it up to Vincent's ear, he dabbed at the cut. Another drop of blood formed at the edges. I am never going to be able to clean this up, he thought. He handed the towel to Vincent. Vincent. No response. Vincent, Paul said again, pushing the towel into his friend's limp hand. He had no idea what he needed to do. What had their argument about Prado even been about? Why did it matter? The murderer would be caught and dead soon. Brother, where are we going? Vincent, can you? Paul tried to lift him. Theo would know what to do. Paul carefully released his friend. Vincent, I'm going to get Theo. Stay still. He would send Theo a telegram. Brother, I'm tired. No, Vincent, it's Paul. I'm going to get your brother. Keep still. Theo. He was barely whispering now. Brother, Vincent said. I missed. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Patricia Thrushhart. I'm going to read two poems that I think relate back to the sessions that I heard today. The first, I think, relates to Dr. Wesley's suggestion of connecting two unrelated items in a poem. And this is called Covering What Can't Be Hidden, a prose poem. Painting the house is a caress, an intimacy. Its facade familiar yet new, like a stranger you meet who turns out to be a cousin. The latter lifts you to a different view, the roof sloping gently, inviting you to sit like a cat, wondering about a half-cousin who took decades to find you. Here is the cranny the spiders like best, the mess of ants they feasted on, still dangling in the twisted strands. Here, the guardian wasp flies out with an anger, like your mother felt when told her father had a child no one knew. Stung, you lift the brush, heavy with stain, the bare wood hungry, bleached by the sun to the west, half rotted by rain to the north. You cover, mask, protect. You probe your brush into crevices only the builder knew before, gaps from a measurement, from a misjudged cut, from an omission of truth. The second poem I actually wrote during Mark Harshman's writers' workshop. It was inspired by the poem he read, Where I'm From, by George Ellis, and it's based on a list. Nowhere now. I'm not from a place where love lived easily. No bedtime squeeze or warm milk flavored with the scent of local bees. Honey congealed at the bottom of a Christmas mug. I'm not from a place where children slept through the night, pillows plumped and feathered under a quilt with fish or bears or balloons, who weren't pulled from sleep to stand against a wall of anger. I'm not from anywhere or somewhere, and maybe it's nowhere now. Thank you very much for the conference. It's been great.
Hello, I'm Nicole Moretti, and I'm a columnist with Mount Lebanon Magazine. I usually tell other people's stories, and I really appreciate this space to tell a bit of my own. The poetry I write tends to work a lot like snapshots, and so I hope you enjoy them. This one is called Volunteer. When I took you to open houses where you could ring the bell, when I gave you the bright red ride-on truck with sirens, when I snapped your photo under the shining plastic hat, I didn't hear the pager tone as your boots raced down the stairs. I didn't touch all the broken taillights you sweep up. I didn't smell the blood you hose away so others don't see. When I prayed with you for the heroes, I didn't think of watching you weep. The second is called Spinal Tap. The giant wept on his knees, tears I couldn't seem to find, begging God and Nick for breath. My tiny little child, stark, white, frail, against the snowy sheets, so still, so still. The second silence poured time from my hourglass madly onto the tiled floor, until the giant nurse, or God, or Nick, willed one shuddering, magical breath. This one's called Amputee, and I think in Corona, it makes a lot of sense to many of us because we're separated from people we love. He leaves me, born over shrunken fields and cities with superhuman speed, entombed in a foul-smelling tin can yet again. Inoculation through repeated exposure to his absences is a failed vaccination for indifference. So I fight the shock from my amputated limb. 36 hours to wait for reattachment. And finally, neon signs, which I wrote a long time ago, but I think in the face of our hopefully more honest discussions about Black Lives Matter and white privilege, I hope maybe it means a little more. What if all the invisible rules hung in the air as neon signs? You know, the rules that make elementary parents park in front while the middle school parents park behind. Would we be surprised, shocked, scandalized to see the instructions blare in our faces when "don't touch me, I can't talk about that, and you are not welcome" hung before us in visible cases? Thank you for the time. Thank you for the conference. Have a lovely day.
I was going to say, that guy looks like me. Hi, I'm Dan Reedmiller. I'm from Pittsburgh, Chatham MFA alum, and I'm going to read a very short piece from a collection of short fiction I'm working on. This is one of the pieces that kind of goes in between the full stories. This is called The Old Woman's Scissors. I first seen it at the Wagon Wheel on an unusually slow Saturday morning. I was sipping my coffee and waiting for my eggs, just staring off into space, when my eyes refocused, they landed on her in a booth across the restaurant. She was getting up and looking out toward the restaurant, but behind her, she was dragging her hand across the seat. There was something in her hand. When she got to her feet, I seen it. Scissors. A pair of those big, heavy-duty metal scissors. The waitress came over and asked her, "You ready? I'll meet you over at the counter." She danced the check in the air and smiled at the old woman. The old woman made eye contact with her, even smiled back, all while slipping the scissors into her purse. The waitress never noticed. When I left, I walked past the booth. The seat was sheared open from one end to the other. I'd never seen anything like it before. I figured the old woman just liked to cut shit, but I couldn't tell why. Did she like scissors? Was it the physical feeling in her hand of cutting different materials? Or maybe it was the idea of ruining things, of rendering them useless, like a thrill somehow. I didn't know. But I started looking for it, and over the next couple of weeks, I noticed sliced remains all over town. First, I was driving past the park, looking to see who all was hanging out. The place was deserted, even the basketball courts, but it dawned on me that the tire swing was lying on the ground, part of the rope just hanging there, swaying with the wind. Then I was waiting for my pizza at the pizza house, trying to kill time, so I looked to see what was in the claw machine. I must have looked in that machine a million times over the years, but this time I noticed it was off. The sign wasn't lit up. I checked behind the machine. Someone had snipped the power cord. But then I wondered, was it off last week when I was here? I tried to think back through the months, the years, but I couldn't remember the last time I had actually played the game. Thank you.
Hi, I can't put anything in the chat for some reason, but I just wanted to say thanks to all the organizers for this wonderful conference. It's been an inspiring day. My name is Bonnie Proudfoot. I'm going to read one poem. It's called Elegy for Farm Life. Outside the window, peach trees line the field. The road snakes downhill, then drops out of sight beyond the ridgeline west toward the setting sun. Chickens roost for the night. A few yards into the woods, a sow and piglets root and grunt. Light stripes the yard in long diagonals, seeps across the windowsill. Watch the girl at the kitchen window. She raises children, keeps them safe, plants a garden, wills it to grow, yanks out the weeds. Watch her read The Joy of Cooking, check how to sterilize jars for canning, see diagrams of the cuts of meat, note the correct internal temperature. The yearling pig looks her in the eyes before they shoot it. Is that how it's supposed to work? Yes, others have been here before. They knew what to do. She thinks she has something she needs to prove. Chickens come racing over, follow even to the slaughter. Each time the eyes dull, the distance is less than a weightless breath. Heat stays in the warm flesh. She used to think that she could do anything, that she could be anyone she willed herself to be. It was a story she told herself, as if the telling could make it true. Blood stains the ground dark brown. She walks past the chopping block, the meat saw. The work is not done until it is done. The house smells like death. She knows that. Look, here are photos. Peach trees in bloom, the setting sun that streams across the yard. There she is at the window, holding on for dear life. The light so bright, the kitchen so clean. Thank you.
Oh, it's me. Hi. How's it going, guys? My name is Bryce Fry. I am one of Dr. Fasonic's senior students, and I have a poetry book called Pulp coming out tomorrow on Amazon. It's about desire and chasing those desires and the consequences of doing so. I will be reading for you 2 poems. A letter about cycles. Dear Red, when it comes time to kill me, I won't blame you. Not even if I choke on your tongue or inhale the smog of empty sheets, call another girl your name. The first time we talked, I showed early signs that I was already dead. Life is a little man in a white coat sitting me down, telling me that it's going to keep spreading. It's all right, I say. I check my phone, take another hit. I'll die a couple times more. Your underwear coming off how cigarettes burn, drag by drag, and when you smoke like me, it goes past the butt. You say, if we do this, I'll kill you. The next morning, you plant a seed in a garden. I say, if you do that, you'll kill it. I don't smoke anymore, and you keep seeds in drawers. I'm still dying, and flowers are still growing. Red, when it comes time to end the cycle, I won't blame you. Sincerely, a ghost. The next poem is called Dissolve. I just want to live sober long enough to accomplish my goals and dreams. Maybe at 50, I'll let myself unravel like a childhood blanket, turn the strands into sweaters and bathe in them. The problem with this mindset is the vacation between goals, the temptation to celebrate accomplishments with a bottle of nice wine, to sedate the neurons, slow dance to the poetry, and slug my way out of the party. I'd probably write some of my best work, quiet the clocks, see the Bible in my reflection. Nobody wants that. Some of you want that. I assure you, you don't want that. My ego is safe when it rises and falls with my chest, wise enough to let the decisions come from it and not my penis. Genitals get so noisy when the jukeboxes play and there's limes in your mouth. The goals become primal and sacrificial. Toast with the blood of Christ. Our bodies become crackers. Our hunger draws blood, soup from your lips, limbs like noodle, greasy like lambs slipping into slaughter. I am woozy, flat and sharp like ivory keys. The clavier is never drunk, never judges, yet remains intoxicating. Keep pulling my strings, and I'll keep giving you the music. Thank you guys so much.
Hi there, BK Atrostic, and I'm from Pittsburgh, and I'm going to read from one of my new short stories, Mary Comes Home, Sebring, Florida, August 18, 2000. For 88 years, you marched through the world on long legs, cadence your own, until today when they failed to lift you from your easy chair. A nurse you knew that was coming did not flinch. Last day in your bungalow, yours alone, all yours. Front steps, yours not to fix, you always use the side door. Room to spread those legs in unladylike sprawl, only the heavy air to embrace you. Bed dressed in percale with hospital corners. Table set with the pink cloth you prefer in summer. Cool contrast to flowered china he bought for your first anniversary because you liked it. Your food in the fridge. Neither borrower nor lender, although you gave freely. Until today, body and bank account both collapsed, but not, slava bohu, the mind. You savor the sinking sun reflected in the mirror over the buffet. The room's afire. Thunderheads race through, lightning revealing palm and orange trees swaying. Lace curtains you've hung in 4 states for 60 years take a last dance in the wind. A quick downpour pounds the roof. You inhale scents of jasmine and wet dirt. Grandma Viera's Bible in your lap, you drowse, fight sleep, take in and commit to memory every sight and sound of your last night of freedom. Past midnight, a full moon beckons. Breeze whispers of mother, father, sisters, brothers. You shake your head. Not yet. Thank you, and thank you for a wonderful conference.
Hi, my name is Jordan Tyler Temchak. I grew up in Clearfield County, Pennsylvania. Now I live on the other side of the mountain in Blair County, Pennsylvania. This poem just came out with Passenger's Journal. It's called With God Number 2. I watched God swim like a carp in the big pond hidden between stripping cuts, out behind Connolly's distributor. Usually bought beer from Turner's, though. Went to school with his granddaughter. His wife's a notary. Nephew, the sheriff. Never know who it doesn't hurt to know. Rumor was McKinney's cousin buried a gator in a duffel bag of meth 2 Octobers ago because he knew McKinney couldn't wait, and he hated snakes and cats, called them fuzz lizards. McKinney never said shit to me about the meth, but he did admit he'd actually like to have kept that gator if it wouldn't have outgrown the cast iron tub in the basement. Judy told me he heard it lived on fuzz lizards all winter. I don't know if I believe that, but you can get boxes of them for free in the back of the penny saver. I asked McKinney about it once when we were shooting pool at the Moose. He didn't answer, but someone else yelled cheaper and kibble, and McKinney smiled, banked the 9-ball corner pocket. I spent most of this past July laid off, casting grasshoppers for bluegills, sitting on the north shore of the big pond on that bench some folks stuck out there, a memorial for the kid who drowned back in the 80s. Everyone always said the minerals from the mine made the water heavy, and it sucked him under like a largemouth inhales a grasshopper. I also heard he drank a case of Genesee, did a gainer off the high wall where the mine company pushed all that shit they didn't want to haul to the other side of the mountain. I don't know what it matters. Never saw that gator. McKinney said he thinks last winter got him. I wonder if he saw the size of the carp. Thanks.
Hello there. My name is Susan Merla. I'm the Vice President of the Ohio Poetry Association, and closer to southeastern Appalachia, that is where Kari Gunter Seymour is. I'm going to read a poem from Open Earth, which is an eco-poetry anthology that I put out, and I'm working on number 3 right now. The poem is called Holy Frack. Frack me, frack you, squeezed from the west and squeezed from the east, and squeezed by the budget, we drill to the center of the earth, far beyond Jules Verne's wildest dreams. Gaping holes of poisonous gas, as close to faults as our nuclear reactors, make my world spin out of control as the lobby that spins yields of short-lived benefits into the promise of energy salvation. Raised atop and devastated far beneath, no more life can spring from the noxious waters, and what lived there before surrenders in agony. The farmer, the homesteader, the wildlife, villages and habitat turned toxic wasteland by organized crime. First, the railroad barons, then the oil sheiks, the coal mobsters, and now the gas mafia, all in violent succession to ensure our indentured servitude. They hanged or shot Bugsy Siegel, Lucky Luciano, Al Capone, Bonnie and Clyde for rigging, sharking, swindling, thieving, and annihilating. But this organized crime is free to frack the living hell out of Mother Nature's bowels without any consequences, so that water wells explode and methane fills our lungs. Traitors to the commons, betrayal of the public good, we choke on water and air, their excess no longer my right or yours, but syndicated. The body beneath lies defenseless without us, as men in white masks under fluorescent lights hover over Earth on the dissection table and mine her for her body parts, turning her veins into pipelines destined for you and me in a short-lived eternity. We are all fracked. Thank you very much, and thank you for the conference. I've been inspired multiple times today, and look forward to more poems.
Greetings. You are muted now.
Okay. I'm not anymore. Well, I am glad that you got in and you could join us. Everybody was wonderful. We finished up. We had some snags with technology where people were being bounced out and so forth. But I think we ended on a high note.
Absolutely. It's so great to see people read.
Yes, and thank you for being my co-host. And I wanted to sign off with everybody, and Heather and Donna are here with me.
Super cool.
Yeah, see, they're here.
Live from Wheeling, West Virginia.
That's right. All right. Thank you all for a wonderful conference. Is Dan still there? Or is he's just a screen now?
No, he's back.
No, I'm back. I got changed out of my collared shirt because I'm not used to it.
Well, we are all back together.
Are you guys in the cabin or are you at the lodge?
We are all in the cabin together.
Okay, I was going to say one more picture of the lodge, but people can look back and see other pictures because we are really excited about being at Ogilvy next year.
Yes, and you will be doing what I did today, and that is fingers to the pound. Thank you all so much, and good luck with the conference next year, Damien.
Thank you.
We're starting tonight, right? On next year.
Oh yeah, we are done, Dan. Done. Bye, guys.
All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you.